Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Isaiah Fowler, founder of SWAV Eyewear and SWAV Agency, and we have a good episode today. I just got back from Greece a couple days ago, and so I want to talk about something. This is going to be very good for your product-based businesses, right? I want to talk about a conversation I had with my manufacturer. We were talking, and he asked me, he says, and this is a manufacturer, right? They are doing very well financially. They're in the industry a lot of different ways. And so he asked me, he says, hey, how much of your business is, to your customers, direct to the customer versus wholesale? Okay. I told him, I said, we're 100% direct to our consumer. He says, that's perfect. That's great. He say, the longer you stay that way, the more success you will have, right? Simply because this is literally what I preach on a consistent basis. This is the thesis of my, business insight, direct to consumer. If someone told me that's doing a ridiculous amount of revenue, why wouldn't I listen? Why wouldn't I stay on that track? And it's very funny because a lot of people think that, direct to consumer isn't as needed, isn't as serious, isn't as important. And I want to let you know, direct to consumer is about leverage. Okay. If you were to go into a meeting and you want to, have an outcome to this meeting, you're going to need some type of leverage, right? Because you're trying to command something to go your way. In order for you to get what you want, you're going to have to be able to say, this is why I deserve what I want. A lot of people are trying to get into Target, trying to get into these stores, these retail stores, but they have no leverage. So what's going to happen is when the store says, this is what our program is, you're not going to have any choice. You're not going to have any, say so. You're just going to have to fall in line because you don't have any leverage. But when retail stores start coming to you, you are the one that have the leverage because you didn't need them because they came to you. And if you guys can fully understand what I'm really saying and really live it and really implement it, your life will never be the same. Your business will never be the same. But it's very interesting because what I'm talking about right now, it literally takes years for you to understand the fact that you made the right decision. Because direct to consumer is not overnight. It's not easy, right? You may go from making $5K a month to $20K a month. That doesn't mean that you made it. That doesn't mean that you're successful, right? That just means that your company is growing. So I want you guys to really think about this. Are you building leverage with your company or are you just making some bread? And if you're just making money and that's what you want to do and that's your plan, that's completely different. Like, do your thing. But if you're trying to really build a business, really build a business, you got to focus on direct to consumer as long as possible. And even when you do go into stores, you still gonna have to be focused on direct to consumer. This is real life. It's not a joke. This is not something I read in a book. This is real life, what I've seen with clients, what I'm experiencing right now. Direct to consumer will make your brand more powerful. The second you start allowing other people to sell your product, when you ain't even at 10 million a year, you gonna lose. And that may not be a definite, and you may not even see that you're losing. That's the kicker. You could get into the stores. You can, make money with the stores and think you're winning. But it's gonna be a direct-to-consumer brand in your same industry that's focused on direct-to-consumer, and they're gonna go up. And an investor is gonna be interested in you and that other person and they're going to see that this other company is all direct to consumer, and they're going to invest into them because they have more leverage, right? Because think about it. If you are already in retail and you're only doing $500,000 a year, and another brand is doing $1 million and they're not even in retail yet, an investor is like, oh, wow, you did $1 million a year and you didn't even go into retail? I want to invest into you. If you're doing $500,000 and you're in retail, then that's kind of like an investor would be like, okay, that's cool, but what are your direct to consumer numbers? Because if you're doing $500,000 a year and you're in retail, what percentage of that revenue is from direct to consumer and what percentage of that revenue is wholesale to retail? And with retail, how do you know that you're going to be able to continue to be on those shelves in the next 6 months from now as well? These are a lot of things that you want to think about. If you just focus on direct to consumer, you'll simplify everything. Because trying to get into retail without leverage, it's just seeking external validation. That's all it is. There's people in retail right now that are struggling in their business. There's no way to get around from the fact that you got to put out content and you got to build a brand. There's no way to get around this. You can try, and you can keep trying, and you can keep trying. Or you can sit down and just build a brand. It's really that simple. Do you want to sit down and build a brand and do it right? Or do you want to, keep trying to take all these shortcuts? Because when you're in retail, it messes with your margins anyway. And if you didn't price your products properly in the beginning of your company, you're going to stifle your own growth and you're going to mess yourself up. And with retail, they have volume requirements. They want to know, can you supply us X amount of units per month? So if your supply chain is not even good and you're not ready for that, why are you even trying to go anyway? Build up your business little by little. Build up the business. Build up the brand. Create a system and a business model. Investors are looking for business models. They want to be able to confidently put money into a proven business model that is working so that it can be amplified. But a lot of y'all don't have business models. You're just making money. And that's very dangerous. If you can commit to the next 24 months to all direct to consumer, you will see a very crucial change in your business. If you're wholesale right now, you'll probably be like, man, I like this direct to consumer better. That's if you're not trying to not work and stuff like that. Because a fact is a fact. And the fact of the matter is, when you go wholesale, when you go into retail, you don't get your customer data. All businesses are built off of data. Google, Facebook, the biggest companies in the world are built off of data. So if these companies are built off of data, why would you, as an entrepreneur, not want to get data about your customer? Like, really understand this. Really understand this. This is real life, right? I'm sharing this conversation I had because I know how powerful it could be to somebody that literally implements. You got to find your customer base wherever they're at in the world, leverage, the internet, get them into your ecosystem and go run it up. That's the mindset that you got to have. That's the mindset that you got to have. But sitting here trying to get into stores when you ain't even made a milli? Come on now. You can make a milli off your website. You can make 3 mil off your website. It just takes time and troubleshooting. Are you willing to do that? Or do you think that getting into a store is the easy way up? You ain't gonna have no leverage. You don't wanna have zero leverage. Always remember that. If you don't remember anything from this video today, know and understand, don't not have leverage. Have leverage because leverage gives you negotiating power. And anytime you go into a negotiation or to negotiate a deal, you need to have leverage. You need to be able to say, I want to walk away from this deal because it's not for me. But if you're just so eager to go get into a store and say yes, you already lost and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? So look, yo, direct to consumer is a wave. I'm gonna keep saying this until I die, because direct to consumer is what it is. There's nothing better, in my opinion. When you start climbing in revenue, then you can start going to stores, 10, 15 million, right? When you get ready to exit, things like that to, you know what I'm saying, add to the revenue. But you could go make a milli. You could go make your 6 figures, you know what I'm saying, online. You could go make your 7 figures all direct to consumer. You don't need a store. You don't need wholesale. You just need to learn how to fucking market. You need to learn how to build a relationship with your customers. That's gonna increase your margins. That's gonna increase the valuation of your company. Understand what I'm saying and what I'm sharing with you. Leverage is the name of the game, all right? Always remember, everything starts with a vision. If you want to schedule an intensive, click the link below in the description, schedule one with me, and let's focus on your direct-to-consumer strategy, all right? Peace.